Do you know how vital sex is in a marriage, especially for your husband? Sex is a gift from God designed to bring you closer together, but sometimes life just gets in the way and that connection can weaken. Today we're going to talk about the importance of sex in marriage, but from a biblical perspective. You know the deal. Everything on this channel comes straight from the Bible. So we're going to talk about how as wives we can reconnect with our husband sexually in a way that honors God but fulfills you. So sex is not just a physical act, but a deep emotional and spiritual connection between husband and wife. God created sex to be enjoyed. But I know as wives, as women, life can come in the way. It can be from hormonal, emotional, just so many things that affect us and affect our ability to connect in the way that our husbands need. So we're going to delve into that today. So stay tuned till the end because we're going to get into the nitty gritty, not just why we need to connect, but how, some practical ways that you can start using to reconnect to your spouse. So in Genesis 2:24, we read, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." This one flesh union is a beautiful expression of intimacy, love, and trust. So let's talk about why sex is important for husbands. For many husbands, sex is a primary way that they express love and connection with their wives. It reassures them of their wife's love, respect, and attraction for them. So no matter how we respect or show love, if we're not connecting with our husband sexually, they're not really gonna feel like they're loved. They're not gonna feel like they're respected. So that is important. 1 Corinthians 7:3-5 teaches that both husband and wife should fulfill their marital duty to each other. It says the husband should give his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. That wasn't me. That came straight out of the Bible. So God knows that sex strengthens your bond and helps protect your marriage from temptation and division. So we're going to talk about 4 ways that you can start reconnecting to your husband sexually. Here's number 1. So the first thing we're going to start doing is communicating openly about intimacy. I know. I don't like it either. I know a lot of us women or wives, we don't like to talk about sex. And it feels like, that's all our husbands want. That's all they think about. That's all that's on their brains. But, let's think about it in a positive light. If he's thinking about it, yearning about it, he's still physically attracted to you, he still wants to connect with you that way, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. Sometimes the biggest barrier to sexual intimacy is a lack of communication. You may feel distant, you may feel just disconnected because maybe just life is in the way, not because of anything major, but especially if you've experienced infidelity or some kind of trust issues, that could definitely mess with your emotional connection, not to mention your sexual connection. So what I want you to do is to have an open, honest conversation with your spouse about sex. Tell him how you're feeling and ask him how he's feeling. This can open that door for the emotional intimacy that we need to start rebuilding. Emotional intimacy is the foundation to sexual intimacy. And remember Proverbs 31 verse 26, she opens her mouth with wisdom and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Yes, we're gonna approach this conversation with love and kindness and wisdom. Okay? The second practical thing I want you to do starting this week, today, is to make time for physical intimacy. If you haven't already or you don't have like some kind of schedule, prioritize time for that physical connection. I know busy schedule, children, and stress can cause intimacy to take that back seat. I know. I've been there. I'm probably still there. However, like any other part of your marriage, This takes intentionality. You have to sit down and work out. When can we make time? How can we make this work? He needs it, and I think you need it too, maybe for different reasons. So set aside some time, maybe just for date night. If you can start with just maybe a date night at home, putting the kids to bed early, and just spending some quality time together that's non-sexual, really having some deep conversations. Next, set a date night. I want y'all to start following the 7-7 rules. Every 7 days, you need to be doing something very minimal, maybe going to the store, buying ice cream, something very cheap, not expensive at all. Maybe ice cream, a little coffee date, something quick, but intentional, that you can just spend time away from the kids every 7 days. And then every 7 weeks, you need to be going on a date. This is not my idea. I got it somewhere off the internet. I'll try to see if I can find whoever came up with this, but I think it's just easy to remember the 777. So it's every 7 weeks, go on a nice date, and then every 7 months, do like a vacation with just the two of you, no children involved. So it could be a staycation, something simple, maybe 2 days, a weekend away from the kids, where it's just you and hubby. So in Song of Solomon 7 verse 10 to 12, we see the joy and importance of spending time together in love and intimacy. It says, "Come, my beloved, let us go into the fields. Let us see whether the vines have budded. There I will give you my love." I'm not saying to go make love in the fields, but you could. Just don't get arrested. So the third thing I want you to do is create a loving environment for intimacy. So what that looks like is making your bedroom very inviting. Always keep it tidy, clutter-free. If you have little children, I know this is a task. I have 3 under 7, so my bedroom is the first that they devour, okay? So I get it. But try to keep it romantic. Maybe blackout curtains to keep it dark, candles, I don't know, some access to music, nice, comfortable sheets. Get creative, guys. But you need a place that fosters that kind of, you know, romantic setting where it's just ripe and ready for that physical connection to occur, okay? Another idea is for those days that you set aside for the physical intimacy, just know that for that time block, there are no phones, no distractions, no watching TV, phones are off, no one calling. So you have no excuses to get out of it. We're creating this peaceful, nice environment. Even if you can't get it to be as romantic as you'd want it to, at least get rid of the distractions. Make it peaceful and inviting for that connection to occur. The number 4 thing I want you to do is start getting dressed up. I know you may be the comfy type. You love wearing that 10-year-old baggy t-shirt to bed every night. Your hair is up in your bonnet and your big fluffy slippers. But what I want you to practice, even on those days that you aren't scheduled for physical connection, you still want to look appealing to your husband. You want to keep him physically attracted to you. I used to be the type, because I worked from home for the longest, and so I would get the most comfortable I could get, right? I'm wearing my pajamas all day, hair isn't done, I look a mess. But listen, when I started this journey that God began to take me on, I just immediately knew I had to make every time, because my husband works from home as well. And this works if your husband doesn't work from home, he works outside the house, or you both work outside the house. Just make sure that whenever he sees you after a long day away, you look scrumptious, okay? Look as comfortable as you want to look when he's not in your presence. But when you know it's time for him to come home, get the hair ready. And we're not saying to do anything elaborate, spend all this money, but like just powder your face, put on some earrings, just look pretty. What I do is I wear the clothes in my closet that I may not feel so comfortable wearing outside anymore, maybe because of modesty reasons or whatever it is. I wear them in the house for my husband. If it's too tight, I'll throw something like a jacket over it, or if it's too short, I'll just add tights or something, but go into your closet and look for the things that you haven't worn, those sexy little things. Listen, I get compliments all day, every day from my husband now, because when he sees me, I look good. So start getting dressed up, and that may look different for all of you. You see me? You see what I'm wearing? This is what I wear to church. My church, they don't dress up. I'm not dressing up for people outside. I get dressed up for my husband. Okay? I dress for him and I dress for myself, because the more confident I feel, the better I am at connecting emotionally. The more confident I am, the prettier I feel. I don't feel like, oh, he's just saying I'm pretty because he wants, you know what. Okay? So get your hair done. Do it yourself if you have to. Put on some nice clothes. Go dig up your closet, see what can still fit, and wear those clothes. All right? Make the effort. Make the effort. He's gonna start putting out the effort for you. I promise you. When your husband feels sexually charged, feels respected, loved, and all the above, he's gonna put out for you. So start putting out a little bit of effort. I don't care if he told you you look good in your Crocs. I don't care if he told you he loves your pajamas, or he's okay with what you're wearing, your big baggy t-shirt. I don't care what he says. He doesn't know. He doesn't know until you put on something nice and sexy and he's like, I don't like how you look sexy. Don't you ever put on something sexy again. Unless that happens, we're going to try it out. We're going to see how he reacts. I don't want you to count it out before you even try it. I want you to go for a week, at least a week. I'm challenging you for a week. Get dressed up, put your hair in a bun, slick it back, put on something simple. We're not trying to look crazy. Put on some simple earrings, a nice little dress, but figure forming, and just walk around the house looking pretty, washing the dishes pretty. But we're gonna be doing chores looking pretty. If he's seeing you, if he's not there when you're doing all this, you don't care. It does help to make you feel better about yourself. I always feel good when I look good. And I think it's the same for everyone. So that's why I really want you guys to try it. Sometimes it's not that you're ugly, it's just you didn't get dressed, girl. Okay? So let's try that. And then the fifth thing I want you to do, I know I said 4, I can count, but I want you to pray, 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 pray. Pray for your sexual connection. Pray for whatever is going on with you, hormonal or hormonally. Is that a word? I don't know. But pray for whatever is going on, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, hormonal. We're going to pray to God and we're going to ask Him to restore us sexually. Restore that physical connection. Restore that physical attraction. If God can't do it, it can't be done. So we're going to put in some work, and then we're going to ask God to bless our efforts, to help us, to cover us, to bless our minds, help us to think, because as a man thinketh, so is he. I truly hope these tips help, because for men, sexual intimacy is tied to respect. If you're not connecting sexually, he's not going to feel respected or loved. So this is one of the biggest ways we can start showing respect to our husband. I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to work on it because I love you and I respect you. And I want you to feel loved and respected. So I hope these tips help. Check out my other videos here or down here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you. Bye.